Hello everyone, this is Plankera, and welcome to my universe. Today, I'm gonna do more working. So, the head turns are done. I am free. I mean, we still got some hair over her shoulder that I'm gonna be doing at some point, but that is not right now. So, I had been noticing this for a while, and I see like part of her torso appears to be covering her shirt, and that doesn't seem right. I'm not quite sure if that's right, so I'm gonna hide her head for a little bit while I look into this and see if I need excuse me, if I need to adjust the draw order here at all. So let's see, that's this layer, right? Yes, that definitely looks like it should be behind the collar here. Okay, let me see. Where is all this? We're into uncharted territory here. I've been working on the head turn so long that I am not as familiar with where things are in my layer stack for the body, and you can see it's quite complicated. So, where is this? This is all coat stuff. I'm gonna collapse the coat right now since I have that hidden for the moment. Okay, here we are, shirt. Okay. Ah, I see, so that's how I have it set up. Well, that's inconvenient. So, what I'm seeing here is that, I have, if you look at how this is, even when I hide this part, you can still see it on the back there, which tells me that unfortunately, the part that her torso here is on top of is the back part. And that's just how I separated it. And there's potentially bad shenanigans with bugs. So, you know what? I'm not going to tempt fate, and I'm going to say this is fine. So I remember very early on I wanted to change something about the headline, and I tried to import things. Or import a new texture and change things that way, and it didn't work. It just crashed the entire time, and I had a very bad time. Although, wait. No, there's one more thing I had to do before body turns. Okay, but we can leave that parameter there, it's fine. I just need to do a quick 1D parameter of head Z, which is going to be kind of tilting your head side to side, like so. And I don't think I'm going to do a very extreme turn here. I'ma just grab this and do a full-on rotation. Yep, there we go. That's it. Let's see. I think 10 should be good. Scooch it over a bit. Okay. Let's see how that looks. Hair aside, I think it looks fine. But the hair, I think I will fix... I have an idea to fix it with physics. I don't know if it'll work, but I will try. And if it doesn't work, I will cross that bridge when I get there. So, there we go. That's all I want to do here for now. Just a very simple shaking of her head there. Okay. I'm gonna go... put that in there. What did I just do? Oh, I just accidentally opened it. Okay, let me reset my parameters. There we go. Okay. Now I'm gonna leave her head there. I need something to act as a good reference point. So for the body here, I do technically have a full body model, but I think I'm only gonna rig it like a half body, which basically means she only moves from about the waist up. So there's going to be a teeny tiny bit of movement around her belt, but otherwise I'm just doing things from kind of around her shirt and stuff. I'm going to keep things simple. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do the up and down yet, but the left and right are pretty straightforward. I will decide what to do there once I get there. Okay, how do I start this? Getting started is always the hardest part for me, so let's see here. So we have the whole neck. I think I can just move this over a little. We're just gonna do big things. Things are gonna look a bit weird for a little bit. It's fine. I don't know how I want these to move yet, so we're just gonna not. We're just gonna pretend they're not there. Just like I'm pretending this arm isn't there. That arm will come later. Huh, so I made the mesh group like this. Okay, so I must have been trying something. I hope this moves. I am not convinced that it will. Is it fine? Is there anything? Vertices getting stuck? Yeah. Yep. I was afraid of that. It's low enough that I might be able to get away with it. What about this side? It's probably about the same. Not nearly as bad as I thought, though, so maybe I can just make it work. If I just grab everything and move it around like that a little. So early on, I had something that I wanted to try with the mesh groups to see if I could get better deformations. And I tried it with the hair at first, and it worked horribly. So I abandoned it very quickly for my typical grid layout. But I apparently tried the same thing with the shirt, and this one actually looks like it might be okay. Oh no, I see. There's a little bit more around her collar, too. But yeah, this time it looks like it might actually work out, so I guess I'll keep it. Let me just... I was very resistant to messing with the meshes while doing pretty much everything else here, but, you know, this one's so close to working. Let's give it a try. Yeah. Oh, up there too. Okay. And then I can kind of compare to how this works out versus... Oops. I did not mean to mirror it vertically. I meant to mirror it horizontally. I didn't get much sleep last night. I might be a little out of it again. I don't know why this keeps happening. I'm convinced that I must have said something very rude to my body at some point, which, you know, considering how I am generally not a fan of bodies. You know, it sounds legit. Sounds like something I do. So I hope that someday my body will let me sleep again. I would greatly appreciate it. Yesterday was definitely one of the worst nights in a while, though, so bear with me while I try to figure out what I'm doing here. Okay, got some more over there still. Got a little bit over here still. So the reason that this is happening, basically, well, you notice that sometimes I move everything around and it just looks like there's this part that's super pointy. And hello there, Nigroho. I am okay. A little bit sleepy. Oh yes, there's a part that looked like it was getting smeared. That's just because, for whatever reason, the vertices are not being moved there properly. I am rigging the body parts now. It is time to do the body. Very exciting. I'm kind of glad to be done with hair for a little bit. I mean, I do plan to do more hair with the body turns, but because she has some hair over her shoulder that I decided I was going to rig at the same time I did all this. Alright, now I'm just fixing something that was not quite working. But I've almost got it. Okay. Still one over here. Basically, some of the vertices, for whatever reason, are outside of the mesh. And it's making things not work well. So I'm just moving the mesh closer to the edge so that this way they all actually move. Have fun. Have a nice meal. There we go. Okay. Cool. Alright, looks like I got them all. Now I just have to figure out how I'm actually gonna do this. Okay. So... let's see... the center. That's gonna be largely what determines things, so that her hips are not gonna move much. I'm keeping this very, very simple. I do not want to spend a bunch of time on the body. So I'm gonna figure out where the center of her shirt should be, and that's gonna determine basically where everything else goes. And I think something like right around there should look pretty good. Yeah, I think that should be fine. And then I just kind of straighten everything out through here. And at some point I'll go back over this and make it look more natural. But this is the first step. I'm going to go ahead and minimize that. This is the first step. Would it be easier if I did it outside the mesh group, though? I don't know. I think this is pretty okay. And then with her body turning slightly, the arm that is visible, I'm gonna leave her other arm invisible for a while longer. If I just tuck it back a little bit, and then move her shoulder here back over here so it connects again. I will connect it properly a little bit later. Yeah, I think once I actually get this going, I think this will look pretty okay. Okay, right now, I just want to move these guys. I think I can just do that by hand. Don't need the brush. Okay, yeah, this seems good. It's like I want to make it look a little bit better than that. Like, I will clean it up. But I think this is fine for the amount of movement that I want to do for now. How does that look with her head? Do I want it to go a little bit further to the side? Or is this fine? I think I want it to go just a little bit further. It was a tough decision because I know that making it go a little bit further will make things just a little bit harder on me, but at the same time, I want it to match up a little bit better with how far her head is going. Give her a nice little wiggle, you know? Okay, yeah, I think that's perfect. In terms of amount of movement, I still gotta make it look good. But I think this is pretty much what I want. Okay. So now I will do just that little bit of hip movement here, and I think that's gonna be mostly around her belt area. So let's see how I have this put together. Okay, so I just have a big old rectangle. What's in the belt? Just all of those. Can I get away with just a little bit here? Actually, that's too much. But I think the idea is correct. So I think the only part I really need to move is the belt. Yeah. And then I will need to move in some of those individual pieces, like the belt loops on the, I guess it'd be the right side. Because everything is reversed, and it drives my dyslexia insane. And I don't remember what I called anything or where they are. Okay, yep, those buttons. This is all belt. I might still add some physics to this thing, though, because, I mean, look how flippy it is. What can I say? No? Okay, they're there. Oh, they're together. I think that actually makes things easier on me, because now I can just go boop and just push it in a little bit. And then I grab, there's like the belt loops going all the way across. I do not remember what I called the layer. Apparently, is that it? Yep, that is it. And I can just bop that in there, and then there's a thicker one somewhere. And I don't know what I called that layer either, so I'm just gonna look like this. Reacquaint myself with what I did here. Belt main, okay. And go boop. Okay. And then I just want to do a tiny bit of movement on the pockets. And I guess these guys too. Oh, I even have these fully separated. Wow. Okay. No, I remember spending a lot of time separating these, so I'm glad to see it. Let's see, how do these line up? not quite with the outer edge of the button. So I can just do a little something like this. I do not think it needs to move much at all. Same here. How were you lined up? Kind of just on the outside of the button. Only need the top to move, because her legs aren't moving, it's just a little bit of residual movement from her turning her waist. That's how I'm seeing this. Okay, and here are the pockets. How did the pockets go? They touched, right? Yes. Okay. So let me see, I moved the belt directly. So yeah, now there's the top of the skirt. I want this to move with it, because right now it just looks stationary and I think it looks a bit strange. So I just want the top to slide on this way. And I think that'll just make everything look a little bit better. Okay, so now there's something on the top there. Are you part of the belt? No. Okay. So you're just part of the regular part of the skirt. Man, I meshed this so well, and I'm barely moving it. It's honestly a little bit sad. Okay, yeah, and once I make that all look a little bit better, I think I'll be very happy. And then I think with these little belt loops, I want to do the opposite of what I did on this side, and make them a little bit thicker. So where are those belt loops? That one? Perfect. And then the thin part of the belt, do I have a one for it? Right there. And since I'm moving that part of the belt, I think I want to do something similar to what I did up here, and just very, very slightly move part of the texture on the waist here. Just so things don't look quite so stagnant while everything is moving around them. Yeah, honestly, I think this is sufficient. I might need to do a little bit more movement on like the seam down here and here, some of the folds that come with it. But I think that sets me up here nicely. Okay, let's figure out what I want to do with her left arm here. Honestly, the answer might be literally nothing. No, I think I want it to move to the left just a little bit with everything else. Just a little. Okay, yeah, and I think once I actually make all of this look good, this is gonna be good. I am pleased. Alright, let's fix her necklace a little bit. I do not think I want to add the little dangly bits just yet. I think I just... Do I want to change the angle of the flower at all? Honestly, I think I might even be moving the flower a little bit too much. No, I think flower's fine. I don't think I need to change the angles on it. I think it's fine just the way it is. Oh wait, this is the neck, not the necklace. Oops. I don't want to do the neck. I wanted to do the necklace. Here we are. Might actually be better if I just grab the vertices themselves and give them a slight nudge instead of using the brush. Honestly, it feels kind of good to be doing something new today. I've been working on head turns for a while, I realize. Hello there, Edgy Kitty. Alright, I think that is fine. The head isn't fully connected to the neck yet, but it's okay. I'll work on that in a little while. I want to get a little bit more of the body turns done. Oh. Is my internet okay? Oh, congrats! Okay, internet appears okay. Let me make sure all is well here. Okay, we seem good. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, how did you do that? I don't think my collarbone layers are clipped. They are not. They should be on the chest and nowhere else. Ah, I see. Well, still, that's pretty interesting. I have a bit of a grudge against the renewable lobby right now, but I think the technology behind it is pretty cool. Definitely a very interesting thing to study. The world is pretty neat. Yeah, it sounds like school is going well for you then. Glad to hear it. Okay. Actually, I feel like I've got most of this about where I want it. So I will probably initiate cleanup soon. Yeah, I think this looks pretty alright. Am I moving the collarbones too much here? Well, that's fine. I think I'm actually going to hide the collarbones for a moment, and I will put those back in once I'm ready to put the finishing touches on things. I think the first thing I need to do is figure out the center of her shirt here. Okay. So let's see here. I'm gonna hide her head again, now that I kind of have the gist. Do I want to hide her whole head? I don't think I need to hide her whole head, but I do need to hide the hair going over the shoulder here. All of it. I do not want any hair on top of things. That's not that strand. There it is. Okay. And the side bang over here is kind of covering it too. So it's fine. She'll just look a little bit weird for a bit, but you know, what else is new? That's just how rigging goes. The character will always look weird. Okay. So, step one, let's fix up the center of her shirt here. And properly shape the collar. So I want to give it a nice curve. This one I want it to kind of curve a little bit differently. Honestly, I'm so glad that this kind of mesh group is working out for this layer because, man, it's so nice just being able to move the entire thing together. Unlike, you know, with the hair where I had to do each part individually, more or less. I was able to do some all together, but I definitely could not get the precision that I wanted. But here I can, so I like this. Anytime I can make a mesh like this and actually make it work, that will be a good time. Do kind of wish I could have some vertical guides to put on the screen, though, to help me make sure that everything is lining up properly. It can be a bit hard to tell just by eyeballing it alone. Oh, well, this is dangerous, but I guess it's fine. Actually, no, I don't think that's fine. I do not actually think that this is fine. So there's some through here that for whatever reason... let me do it while it's like this. But yeah, for whatever reason, there's some here where it looks like the extra lines were not properly cleared. So I have some going vertically and horizontally, and I don't think that's good. So let me just clear these. Like, that's bad enough that I'm willing to go in and edit the mesh again. Okay. So for whatever reason, it looks like that when I had my mirror tool turned on, that it just wasn't properly reflecting my changes. Not the end of the world, I can pretty easily fix that. So now I'm just gonna do a few precise little changes here. Some of these I can tell that I cannot just do entirely with the mesh group. Like this, I might want to move around a little bit more, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to do some changes on the shirt directly in order to properly get these folds to move. But I'm just doing as much as I can in the mesh group, because it does make life a little bit easier. I do feel like this is going upward. So I just need to grab, like, this whole thing and bring it a little bit further down. My daughter has this thing that I think is very cute of when she wants me to scroll down on the internet, she says a little bit more downer. Because she's not quite sure how to say it properly, and I just think it's adorable. She is still figuring out this whole talking thing. Just wants things to be a little bit more downer. It amuses me because it has... You know, even though she's just talking about scrolling down, just making things a little bit more downer has very different implications in English, and I just think that's funny. My daughter's going to be starting school this year, so that's a bit exciting for me in the summer. And I've been telling her that I've been learning how to read too, because I've been learning Japanese, and I need to learn a whole new system of writing here. And it's a very difficult system of writing, in my opinion. I don't know the technical term for it, so I'll just call it hieroglyphics. But the hieroglyphic style of writing, where the characters represent words rather than sounds, it just seems like it is a bit harder to learn. And then there's English, where, you know, technically it represents sounds, but because we borrow from so many different languages, it's more like a suggestion. English seems like a pretty hard language to learn. But I guess English has the upside that our grammar is so ridiculously flexible that you can kind of get away with a lot of things and still be understood. And I think a lot of English speakers are used to dealing with people that don't speak English, just because it's become such a ubiquitous language. So we can kind of piece together what people are trying to say a little bit more easily, in theory. I don't know, languages are interesting. It's something I can talk about a lot. And I've talked about how being interested in just the words that get stuck together to make other words in kanji. Like, one of my personal favorites is still weather being heaven and mood. So basically the heaven's mood. That one's cute. I think it's very cute. And then there's some today, like I was just talking with my husband about this, that a stamp, like the example picture given on the site that I'm using to study, shows a picture of the kind of stamps that you'd put on an envelope in order to mail something. And for whatever reason, it uses the kanjis for cut and hand. And I'm just like, why? That's such a morbid combination for such a simple thing. So some of them are very cute, and some of them I don't understand at all. It's okay, it keeps things interesting, and if I'm being honest, some of the weird ones like that are actually easier to remember because they're just so weird. I do not think I will ever forget what stamp is at this point. Maybe how to pronounce it. I still don't remember how to pronounce it. But I assume it's... Isn't it like kite or something? That would make sense. Since cut is, you know, kiri and hand is te. Basically, I've been greatly enjoying my adventures in language learning. I love languages. They are so much fun. I love them so much. Pretty much anytime I'm just kind of bored, one of the things that I do to kind of entertain myself is just learn a language, because why not? I very rarely get any degree of fluency when I do this, because it's just an idle curiosity. But, I just think they're very cool. It's very good insight into how people of a given culture think. Because how you talk and what words you say influence how you think about the world. Like, unironically. I cannot tell you how much stuff I figured out just because I decided to stream myself doing art. And I had to talk about what I'm doing and what I'm thinking about, or all that stuff. It's really interesting. Brains are just super weird. Super, super weird. You know, now that I think about it, art is kind of its own language too. Not just the visual arts, but any kind. My husband and I were talking a little bit about this earlier today, and in a bit of a different context. We've been playing Metaphor Refantagio, and the writing is not hitting for me. I don't think it's been very good, especially considering that the other games that this studio has made. So I've been a little bit sad. And we like to talk about a thing, I call it a pretentiousness budget. So I think when discussing ideas, you kind of have to be a little bit pretentious. I think that's why so many philosophers are extremely pretentious. Basically, what the pretentiousness budget does is it's how much... How do I describe it? How much goodwill does your audience have toward what you have written? That they are willing to tolerate a degree of pretentiousness when talking about your ideas. So this way you can go in and not necessarily be preachy, but just be kind of, well, pretentious. How do I describe pretension? But yes. And that we don't think Metaphor uses its pretentiousness budget too well. It's too pretentious. It's a bit heavy-handed and its theming, and because of it, when something just doesn't quite match up, I get a little bit irritated. And so that's kind of a language itself too, where the game wants to say something. It very clearly wants to try to tell me something. But because it's kind of clumsy in a lot of ways, I am less... I can't think of the word, but I'm less inclined to listen to it than I otherwise might be. And that is always a little bit sad. And then, yeah, here, the language of the rig that I'm trying to make here. I'm just trying to make it look like her body's actually moving. I don't really have much to say here. Or in terms of the art that I'm creating here. I'm just trying to... There's no particular theme, there's nothing I'm trying to get across. It's just, okay, how make move good? And lighting things up there. There's no message or any real communication, just I want it to move. That's all. But even so, it kind of has a language of its own. Because when people move, we have certain expectations. Especially around the face. People are super picky about faces. Man, I actually feel like this is coming together pretty quickly. I definitely got some details I'm gonna need to work out, but I am really happy with this. This is going really well. Man, you know, maybe the body turns won't take a million years. I really was kind of hoping that I'd be able to get things done this month. I think that might be a little ambitious, but I'll do my best. And, you know, so far so good. This is going really well. I'm happy. Actually, I think I'm just gonna use arrow keys. Scooch that guy over. Arrow keys are nice because then I don't have to worry about it moving up or down. I can just move it directly to the left in this case, as I want to. Like here, it looks like I moved it a little high up. Let's see here. So let me slide this down just a touch. And then I want to take a hold of these vertices myself and pull them apart a little bit because they are getting a little bit too squished together here. They should be a little bit more squished together than they were, but that was way squished. Yeah, I think that's a little bit better. And now I just need to get the shape. And actually, now that I think about it, I might separate these guys a little bit more too, stretch them out. I think that'll make things look a little bit better too. After I finish up this side. Okay, I like this. This looks nice. I think this part I'm gonna have to smooth out on the shirt layer itself, though. That's fine. I can already tell that I have a few things I'm gonna need to fix up there. Mostly in the various folds. The mesh group isn't so good at those precise details. But that's okay. It doesn't have to be good at everything. It's getting me started, and that has already been just immensely helpful. So yeah, even though the fold right there I think is a little bit off, I don't think I can fix that yet. I like the way the stretch over here is looking though. I think it actually looks like we're just seeing more of her side there. Alright, gonna go back over to the collar then. Since I was talking about pretentiousness budget, I am trying to think of a game that I think used its pretentiousness budget very well. Or a story or a book. I did read a comic recently that I thought used it pretty well. Like, it was reasonably pretentious. But I was so into it, so it was fine. But I think it's kind of an obscure one. It's called I Will Die Soon. And it's about a guy that... I guess pissed off a personification of death. And so she kept making him inhabit the bodies of people that will die soon. And so he kept dying over and over and over again. And... trying to do things to beat her game or just live life and that kind of thing. It was a really well-told story, but definitely a bit pretentious, but a little bit too obscure to be a good example, I think. Trying to think of something mainstream. Can't think of one off the top of my head, unfortunately. Actually, you know what? No, I do have a fairly decent one. If you guys are familiar with Assassination Classroom, if you're not, you should be. It's really good. The anime follows the manga quite well, so you can either read it or watch it, depending on your preference. But it was basically about a class of outcast students, I think that's the best way I can describe it, that, for reasons, have to assassinate their alien teacher. It makes sense in context, I swear. And one of the ending episodes of the anime, and I specify the anime here because it was literally 20 minutes of roll call. Literally, they just called each student's name, and that was the entire episode. And it worked. Like, I'm just saying it sounds incredibly silly, but it was so effective. It was really good. So I think that's an area where the pretentiousness budget worked well. They earned the ability to be that pretentious. Earned it so hard, man. It's one of those scenes, it was literally just roll call, and it's... I remember my husband's commentary on that episode was, "I'm not crying, you're crying." So yeah, I think that's a at least reasonably mainstream example of something that I thought used its pretentiousness budget well. Man, for as sleepy as I felt before stream, I'm feeling pretty good now. It's amazing what success in art can do for your energy levels. Looking at the time, I was wondering, with as well as things were going, was I going to finish off the left body turn today? I don't think so. I don't think I'm going to. But the good news is that most of this is symmetrical. So I'll just be able to flip it on over to the other side, and I'll have most of a right turn done too. That'll be pretty sweet. But I think I want to finish the entire left turn before I start thinking about that. I do think I just about have her shirt area looking the way that I want it to, though. Still got a little bit more to do around the shoulder, but... And then the very detailed stuff I want to do around the wrinkles here. But otherwise, I think it's legitimately about done. Nice. So who knows, maybe I can get the body turns done in like 2 weeks, if I'm able to do it at this pace. I guess I haven't even started the coat, though. Because I've been having her coat completely hidden. I like her coat. Her coat is cool. Okay. Yeah, I think this is good for a first pass here. I'm gonna go work on this shoulder area a little bit more here. And for pretty much everything on this side, I think that's actually about where I want it. So let's see what I can do with the shoulder here, and attach the arm and all that good stuff. Right now, arm not quite attached. And actually, you know what, before I forget, there is a spot I need to fix on this side. I tried something, it didn't work. And that's basically all. Such things happen. This is more folds I think I'm gonna have to just do on the shirt layer itself. I kind of want to stretch them out a bit. Same with this shadow here. I don't think I can get that just the way I want it here. And I think after I kind of get the shirt figured out, I'm gonna go ahead and do her necklace. I think I'll even do the floppy bits. Those are largely going to be moved by physics, but I want to get their general location figured out. I think I might just be able to get away with doing some basic X movement, but I need to try that. Need to try things, you know? See how it actually looks. I need to see it in practice. Cannot get away with just theory here. Off stream, I've been working on another drawing, and I decided that I wanted to try to draw one of my original characters in kind of the style of a Renaissance painting. And when I got started, I was like, wait, shoot, I totally forgot how to draw in semi-realism help. It took me a little bit in order to get it all working again in my head, so I had to do a little bit of flailing. I do have all of that recorded, so you'll be able to see my flailing in the drawing time-lapse when it comes time to post it. But you know, art is just like that sometimes. It was just so funny, I had to try several different things, and eventually I got it. But it still took a little bit of trial and error to remember how I actually do things. I've had moments like that even in non-complex art styles like a semi-realism would be. Of just, wait, how do I draw again? What day is it? These things happen more than you might think. It's okay. Eventually, I always remember. I think this area will look pretty good once I fix all the wrinkles on the shirt itself. Cannot do that just yet, though. I think that is a small detail I want to save for closer to the end. Alright, I think that shoulder's looking pretty good now. So I think I can start attaching the arm here. Yeah, and then I'll fix the folds there once it comes time to touch the shirt directly. Let's see, how do I want this arm to be attached? Although no, this edge isn't quite right still. Let me take another look at this. Yeah, that edge. I kind of made it curve inward when it's supposed to be straight. Like, this is pretty much a straight line. There's a little bumpiness to it, but it is pretty much a straight line. So I just gotta straighten it out again. How's that? Close? Not quite. Top one, not in the right place here. It also must be very straight. But right now it is not. Okay, like falling asleep. There we go. Gotta get it out of there. Okay. Now it's happy. You know, I never expected this corner to just be like, hello, I am a corner and I am going to give you hell today. They seem to do that a lot, but it's okay. I think I got it reined in. Little bit more here. There's a few bumps in her shirt, as you might expect from a shirt. So I just gotta kind of replicate their locations a little bit better. Yeah, I don't think I quite have some of these bumps in the right spots. I don't want it to look like her shirt is wrinkly or anything, so I'm trying to keep them in about the same spot. I don't mind if they move a little bit, that seems pretty natural for a shirt to do. But you know, somewhat the same. Same ballpark. Okay, I think that's good. Okay, and then at the bottom here, there's a little line coming out there. I want to see if I can get away with moving it just a little bit to the left. Same with this one. Want to move it just a little bit to the right. Or to the left. Yes. You know what the best part about rigging directions is? Is that I can say either one and be technically right. I can say that I'm moving something to the left or the right and still be technically correct. Because it could just be her left or my left. Because they are different. I want this to get way over there. Just all of it here. There we go. And moving those vertices back over should stop everything else from moving too far. Oh yeah, look at that. I think I'll be able to do something similar with some of the shadows of the shirt over here. But I want to do those once it's time to touch the shirt. I think that's about as far as I go before I go ahead and touch the shirt. Now let me take a look at this arm. Let's connect that arm. No, I think it was better before. Okay. I don't know, it still feels like it should be somewhere between those two locations. But I thought I moved it only one over. Guess not, because this seems okay. Alright. Let's go do her necklace. Okay, so I kind of got it started, so now that I know roughly how the shirt is moving, it's going to be much easier to finish it off. And I actually do think that the flower is moving the right amount too, so I can use the flower as my point. Before, I was just doing getting the gist down, doing the big picture. But now I can go in and do a bunch of nice detail work. Just moving everything on over. I want these highlights in particular, because you see this area is a bit lighter than this area. And I want all of those to move very nicely. I want the highlight to move with her. I have to be careful about this edge, though, because if I push it too far, it's gonna fall off her neck. So, can't have that. Gotta stay on her neck. Very important. Because that's where necklaces belong. Okay, let's see if that did what I want. Yeah, not bad. I just kind of need to clean up the scrunched side. But everything else I think looks pretty convincing. I was worried that the way I cut this wouldn't work, but it seems to be okay. Maybe it'd be better if I extended it a little further, but I wasn't quite sure how I'd hide the parts that weren't being used. Probably involve some really weird reverse mask shenanigans that I just wasn't quite ready for. Basically, I still have a lot to learn when it comes to rigging. But I think this looks pretty good for now. I think I can be happy with this. Yeah. And I think I want to make the hole there a little bit narrower. Because if you look at the front here, this part right here is narrower than this part back here. And if her body's turning, then this part is going to be, like, behind her now. So I want the little hole there to be a little bit narrower, I think. To represent the part that used to be, like, right over there. Kind of the same here. I'm going to make it a touch narrower. I'm also going to move this highlight over just a little bit more. Okay, that might be... Yeah, that's a little bit too strong. I think the idea is good, though. Just gotta do it a little bit less. As is common for me. Like, anything worth doing is worth overdoing, right? And actually, I think I'm gonna do something a little bit similar on this side, where I make up here just a little bit thicker. Okay, and once I kind of undo my severe overdoing it, I think this will look good. And I will be ready to do the dangly parts that I currently have hidden. I'm really close. I can tell that I'm pretty close here. Okay, I think that might be it. Let me actually zoom out and take a look. Oh yeah, that looks pretty good. I like it. Okay, let's go put these parts in. So let's see, how should they move? They should just stay under the flower, and I think I can get away with just doing a basic translation on all of them. So let's see. Which part of the flower are you under? Kind of before the final bump on the flower there. Okay. Before it kind of starts turning back in, so like right here. 7. So I'll just move all of these over 7. Oh, maybe I do need to move the flower over a little bit more. Okay. Let's move it over a little bit more. Let's try 12, which would make these go over about 12 as well. It's like I had it one less than it before, but honestly, I think the exact same amount is fine. Okay, I think this is okay. It's like the center of her body here moves a little bit more, but I think this looks fine. I might need to hide those layers again just so I can see what I'm doing on the shirt, but I'll leave them there for now. Let's attach her arm. This arm is going to be hidden repeatedly. It's just covering way too much here. Okay, that seems fine. I think that arm is attached. It doesn't need to move that much. Let's get her chest. It's been sticking out and looking weird for a while now, so I think it is time. So we'll go hide all these parts, and let's get that chest going. Can I get away with just moving it like this? It is mostly just a solid color with a slight gradient to it. So yeah, looks like I can get away with just moving it like this. And then I'll get her collarbones too. Alright, let's get those collarbones. Let's see, how do I want them to move? Is this actually fine? Yeah, that's right, because I did kind of start getting them moved. I just didn't quite finish it. I decided, you know what, I should rig some of the things around it first, just to make sure that I'm getting that center point in the right place. But now I think I'm ready for them. I still think that's too much. Still a little bit too much. It's okay, this is gotta be a little bit of trial and error, but it's pretty easy trial and error, so it's fine. It's totally fine. Okay, that seems pretty good. Now I think I'm gonna do her belt here. And what little of the hips that I move before I go in and start doing specific fold things on her chest here. So let's see. First thing I want to do is the waist part here because it's pretty off. What layer was that? It was like over here. Skirt waist, yeah, I think that's it. So what I noticed about it first off is that there's supposed to be like a little bump on it. And I completely destroyed that shape. So I want to get that back in. Yeah, that's already so much better. And I mean, the ultimate goal is to get things moving less and less as I get closer to her waist. Or closer to the belt here. But I do feel like I have to move things a little bit more than I currently am here. Just to get it lined up well with how all of this is moving. Basically, her waist is twisting here a little bit, and I need to follow that twist all the way down if I want things to look right. Alright, I think the last thing I need to do here is just figure out that top boundary. It's not exactly just one simple curve. There's a few little folds in it, as you might expect for clothes. So I just need to match those back up. And then I think all will be well. And I think that'll be perfect for this, I don't know, the top of the waist part of her dress. There we go. Honestly, that wasn't so bad at all. I was a little bit worried that it might be, but nope. All is well. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. So now we're getting down into the belt and the belt loops. And I think this is going to require a bit more work here. I think where I want to start is these loops right here. I gave them just a quick push before, and they need a little bit more work. They need a little bit more attention. Right now they're a little bit squashed. That's okay. I can give them that attention. Okay. So these actually connect a little bit lower than I thought they did. And this guy is also getting a little bit straighter than I thought he was. Or rather, he's more crooked than I thought he was. And so now he's getting a little bit straighter. So I should fix that. So I pushed this over a little bit too far. This guy needs to come down here. Let me see. Do we see any of the side of the skirt? No, we do not. So I'd need to make sure that, although it is slanted at the bottom, that we do not see the outer end of the skirt. And we carry that slant over through all this as well. That should make my life a little bit easier in that regard. Okay, I think I need to fix the pocket before I do anything else. As you can see, this pocket has a fairly sharp angle here, and I made it straight. And that's not gonna work. So I'm gonna go ahead and fix up that pocket. Needs to slant a little bit still. Just be a little bit smaller, more or less. Did I somehow touch the outside of the skirt as well? Because if I did, that should be tucked in a little. That should honestly make it easier to work with this too if I just tucked in the skirt, now that I think about it. It's okay, mistakes were made. You know what, enough mistakes were made that I'm going to go back and undo my changes on the pocket, and instead of changing the lower part of the pocket, I'm just going to tuck the skirt itself in. I think that should be fine. Yeah, that's totally fine. Alright, now I can just go back to fixing this pocket. Okay, that seems pretty good. And with any luck, fixing the pocket there will make it a little bit easier for me to fix these loops. I'm going to consult the mesh, because this is one of those meshes that I think will respond well to consulting. And indeed it is. It's doing so well. I'm glad to see it. Okay, now I think I just need to fix this little thin belt right there. Where is that layer? There he is. I think I'm actually gonna just redo it, because I think there's not much point in deforming it. What are you called? Skirt belt. Skirt belt main. Skirt belt thin right. Remove. I think I'll do the same with the left. Because I think that it's going to be easier just to translate it like this. Yes, significantly. Significantly easier. And then I think I want to take the entirety of those little loops and just move them like one click to the left there. Yeah, I think that helped. Cool. Alright, I think this is coming out pretty well. I just need to figure out what I'm supposed to do about this guy here. Because on the one hand, he kind of needs to come in, but on the other hand, if he comes in, it looks a little bit strange. So I need to find that balance. Maybe I need to scale it too. Yeah, I think scaling might help. So if I scale on X, then I should be able to actually move it very slightly to the left. Yeah, I think that's exactly what I wanted. That looks good. I'm actually starting to wonder if doing the same thing on those little belt loops actually makes more sense. I'm gonna try, because I don't currently like the deformation on it, and I'm having trouble getting it to look right. So let's just go ahead and find that layer. Skirt small loops. Right. Remove. And instead, we scale you a little bit. And maybe leave it there. Let's see. Yeah, that's perfect. I don't think I need to do anything further. Nice when things work out. And then belt main, that last little bit there. I think I pushed it in a little bit too far, so I'm going to pull it out just a tad. Cool. Now this belt loop. Which one are you? This is all belt buckle stuff. Where are my belt loops? Yeah, you. I don't know if you move with your button. You don't. Okay, I'll just move you the same. I only want to move you like 2. Just to get it a little bit closer to the loops on that side. Actually, even 2 is a little bit too much, I think. Let me try just 1. And the button. Alright, seems pretty good. Let me see, do I want to move the belt itself with that? I think so, just a little bit. Just a little bit here, and I think that has to be deformed. The back part I don't think does, though. So I'm gonna start with him. Okay, that's over there. That's you. Which layer is this? Right there. Slanted back, okay. Let me make sure that's the right spot before I deform anything. Yep, that looks perfect. And now I just need to find this, like, diagonal piece. I assume that's probably what I called it. If this is called slanted back, then there should be a part called slanted or something. Yeah, here we are. That is my typical naming convention, so sounded about right. Alright, that seems pretty okay. And then I think I want to move the big triangle buckle parts. Okay, I have that all in one layer. Doesn't need to move far. I did that in the wrong layer. We're gonna unset that and do it again. Early on, it's really nice because I don't really have to worry about checking my changes and being straight on the line like I do after I start adding like up and downs and stuff like that. So sometimes I just accidentally select the wrong keyframe. Happens a lot. It's fine. Where's my flippy? I know I definitely called it flippy. There we are. 100% called it flippy. What else am I gonna call it? It looks so flippy. And then what are you? Like belt buckle back or something? I thought I saw a layer called that, so... Okay, yeah. There we go, it's all moving. Okay, I'm happy. You know, maybe I can finish this whole turn today. I'm still feeling pretty good. It's definitely getting a bit late, but I'm almost done with everything I want to do. Sans... Well, no, everything I want to do. Once I finish the waist here, all I really want to do is perfect the folds on the shirt. I'm currently excluding the coat. I'm gonna do the coat once I finish everything else. Yeah, I'm almost there. I'm feeling pretty good. Let's see if I can just finish this entire turn, and then I can worry about flipping it over to the other side tomorrow. Most of this is done with, down here was done with translations, so I might even be able to fully flip that. Ooh. Oh. Exciting. Okay. I got this. Okay, so... Do I have... What are you called? Skirt small loops. Skirt small. Skirt small loops. I just saw it, but I lost it. Small loops left. Here we are. And my scroll wheel's still giving me a bit of trouble. Okay. Gotta undo that. Skirt, belt, thin. Skirt, belt. Okay, looks like I might have already... Yeah, so I already cleared that. Okay. So now I want to do something similar to what I did on this side for these guys. But first I'm gonna do the thick belt loop there. Which is... belt loop right, belt loop left. Perfect. Let's just move this guy over, like, 2. And then he should have a button nearby. Okay. Let's fix this pocket. Actually, before I do the... No, I want to do the pocket now. I was thinking about doing the little loops first, but the pocket I can kind of line up with this larger belt loop. So let's do that. The pocket I do think has to be deformed, though. I do not think I can get away with just using basic translations for that. And I think I will stretch it a little bit down there, too. Just the smallest bit. Yeah, I think that's exactly what I want. And at the top, I think I still need to pull it a little further out this way. Yeah, there we go. That looks really good. Gotta say, I'm glad that I'm keeping the body turns really simple. I feel like I'm just flying through this compared to how long it was taking me to do everything else. And it does feel legitimately good because, man, was I working on the hair for a very long time. Okay. Now I just need to do something similar to what I did on the other side. And make this just a little bit larger so I can move it just a little bit to the left, and that should make the turn fairly convincing. A little bit more to the left. Okay, and now I just fix the little bit on belt main here. Just pushed it in a little bit too hard. And I think that'll be everything that I do there. I gotta say, my biggest regret is that I'm not gonna be playing with stuff down here because rigging this and putting physics on it looked like so much fun. But it's okay. I gotta finish it. It is time to move on. I think I want to move this belt loop just a little bit more. Yes, that is much better. And then what are these? Because I see that there's like shadows related to my belt loops here. Okay, guess not. I guess it's just a quirk of my layer order for some reason. It's fine. Not hurting anyone. And now just a couple more things to really do it, because there's like these little metal parts here. What layers are those? What layers are those? Okay, no, that's something else. Okay, here we are. These guys. Just wanna... I think that's all I need to do. Yep. That's all I need to do. It just looked a little bit stiff. Kind of similar with these little thin belts coming off there. With everything else moving, they just look a little bit stiff. But things aren't moving very much here, so that is okay. Yeah, there we go. That's better. Okay. So now I just gotta get these little seams here. Possibly some of the folds around it. Just clean up those little edges here. Let me see, how did I want this one to move again? I think you're actually fine. It's the skirt around you that is moving a little bit too much. Okay, I'm actually going to start over on the skirt part. No, I can. I didn't touch this part, really. Where is just plain old skirt? There you are. Okay. Yeah, I will have to move up there, but first I want to get down here. Before I do anything else, I want to get it right along these seams, because I think that's going to be the hardest part. I do not need to move it much at all. Yes, I think just that much is fine. Now I'm going to move the seam on the other side, line that up a little bit better. This guy, I think, needs to move a little bit further down. There we go. Yeah, I think that's a good amount of moving along versus staying still at the bottom. I still did not move the bottom at all. And I think that is perfect. Bottom of this pocket was not working for me. There we go. Okay. Now I want to move some of the folds and whatnot around here before I start doing anything else. I will have to move some stuff kind of around this area, but all of this first. Just a tiny bit of movement around here. And I realized that the pockets have some parts around here too. Yeah, seems pretty good. Now I just need to very, very slightly move all of the vertices in the center just enough to get that texture to move about the same amount as everything around it. Yes. Just gotta keep going. There we go. Okay, and now I can get the top part. I do not think I need to do much up here. Just slide things over just a little. Yep, that is sufficient. Keeping it simple here. Okay. And actually, now that I look at it, I think I want her shirt to move just slightly less in a couple of places. Come on, scroll wheel, work with me here. We're almost there. We got this. It's mostly near the bottom here that I think it needs to move a little bit less. I want that to line up with what I did with the skirt just a little bit better, because I don't want to move the skirt much more than that. Yeah, seems pretty good. Now I just gotta clean that up, and then do a little bit of specifics on the exact folds of the shirt in a few areas. So let's straighten out this part here. Just gonna make that line look nice. Make sure the buttons are all a good distance from each other and aren't looking all distorted. This button still isn't quite right. Let me actually consult the mesh and see where things are getting messed up. Okay, I see it. Easy peasy. Once again, the brush is a destroyer of worlds, so everything just got a little bit distorted in a couple of places. But that's okay. It's easy to fix. Just gotta do a tiny bit of mesh consulting, and then all should be well. Okay, let's go in and just do the shirt itself. How did I separate this? Lots of the collar pieces. Okay, and here's the shirt itself. Always daunting to just look at a mesh like this, my goodness. Okay, but this means I will have lots of control over these folds that I want to move around. I'm gonna have to go back and forth a lot though, because I cannot see anything at all like this. Nothing. There's so many little vertices, it's, yeah. I'm not sure if I should praise my past self or be mildly horrified. Maybe a little bit of both. God, moving this is gonna be a thing, though. It'd be so nice to finish off an entire turn in one day, though. I would feel like such a boss. Well, let's give it my best shot here. Okay, I'm gonna focus on this area. I'm jumping around a bit too much. Okay, I don't actually think that worked, so let me back it up there. I think I see what's happening. There's actually a white part around the seam. So I don't need to worry about having a white part around the seam. It's just part of it, it's fine. Man, so many little folds around these seams. Oh, but it really is so easy to move them because of how I meshed it. So, I don't think this is a good mesh, though. Like, it is in theory. And I do appreciate how easy it is to move things. But, man, there's so many dots. It takes so long to smooth things out here. It's a little bit unwieldy. I think if I had about half as many dots here, then it would be much better. Lessons for the future. I always like to keep in mind lessons for the future. That's why I like to talk about these things out loud. You know, I mentioned the power of language earlier in the stream today. And now that I'm kind of forcing myself to articulate my thoughts about some of these things. I do think that I am learning many a thing. Probably faster than I would otherwise, actually. Makes me wonder if I should more actively journal about things that I work on and really talk and think about exactly what it is that I'm trying to do and what worked and what did not and all of these things. Even for things that I don't stream. I think it might actually help. So I will consider it. It just adds another layer of work to the process. So maybe it'll be some things that I do for some projects and not for others, who knows. Some days it can get a little bit lonely streaming streaming art like this, since there's no one here, but I don't think I regret doing this at all. Even if no one ever comes, I've still gotten a lot out of it. So, you know, if you're ever lurking, don't feel bad about lurking, or for being a VOD watcher, or anything. Because legit, I do think that I get a lot out of just being here. That's why I keep doing it. Man, it must have taken so long to mesh this. And I'm just looking at it like, oh, past self, you could have been a little bit lazier, and I think it would have worked out a little bit better. I feel kind of bad for her, honestly. My poor past self just doing her best to try to make things a little bit better for me. The future self, her future self, here now, and half success, half failure. Alas. Alas, poor past self. It's okay, I can still appreciate it in spirit. Okay, now I can finally get into some of the stuff I wanted to try over here. Let's make this super thin. Doing the harder side first, because I think the other side will be pretty straightforward. Because So I'm mostly just stretching things out over there. Here, though, I need things to be in a little bit more specific of a spot. Yes! I'm probably gonna finish off the entire left body turn today. Sans coat. But I plan to do the coat just at the end, so I'm not worried about it. Almost there. Almost there. I'm very happy. Just maybe a little bit tired. But I felt like today went really well, so I would like to just knock this out and feel great all day. Because I will feel great all day if I can just finish off this last little bit. Let's see, I don't think I need to touch the folds on her sleeve at all. I might do a little bit of that just for a little bit of arm physic. But for basic turns like this, no, I think we're good. Man, there's so many little folds here. You can tell that this shirt is made from a very light and loose fabric because of just how many little folds there are. Looks very comfy. Does mean a bit more work for me though, but I am determined. I am very determined. Okay, really have to think about how these folds over here need to go. Let me just stare at this for a little while. Okay, I think I have a better idea. That needs to go like that, and then I want this to be a little bit pointier. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I think I'm gonna make this highlighted part a little bit larger as well, just like right out here. Yeah. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Now I just need to figure out what the heck is going on over here. Been having trouble with this spot, so let's stare at it very intensely. Really try to understand what this little area wants. So the sooner I do that, the sooner I can go eat. I am definitely getting a little bit hungry. But the hunger cannot beat out the raw determination in my soul right now. I am so ready. Honestly, with the way I feel right now, I feel like I could probably go all day, but I have responsibilities. The tiny humans demand attention. Okay, this fold, I love the shape on it, but I think the entire thing needs to be moved a little bit to the left. Hopefully I can do that without messing things up too much. All the vertices are just really close together, so I gotta be very careful. This is what overdoing dots looks like. And unfortunately, her shirt, at least this part of it, is not symmetrical. So I will not be able to just one-to-one bring this over to the right side. This is something I will also have to fix manually on the right side. That's alright. That's very doable. And this time I actually do mean tomorrow, because I will be doing more rigging tomorrow. I also realize that tomorrow's gonna be the day I take my kids to the park. Speaking of the tiny humans demanding attention. For a while we were going on Tuesdays, but recently found out that the mom group that used to go to the park on Tuesdays now goes on Thursdays, so we're gonna go on Thursday too. So that this way, my kids have other kids to play with. Sometimes, as my daughter especially, gets a little bit sad when there's no other kids at the park to play with. I think that's her favorite part of going to the park, just being able to go out and socialize. She's a very social little one. Loves playing with other kids. So I'm pretty optimistic about school for her. She's starting school in the summer, and part of me's a little bit nervous, but I don't know. When I see how she acts, I'm like, she's gonna be fine. I actually think she might be actively happy because she's gonna have a whole bunch of kids to play with at school. It's basically just gonna depend on whether she gets in trouble a lot. She's decent at sharing, but she is a bit bossy and gets very upset when she doesn't get her way, and is prone to yelling at people. And I do not think your average kindergarten teacher is going to be okay with that. So we'll see how she does with a less forgiving authority than mommy. Okay, I think that's half of the shirt changes that I want to make done. The harder half. Well, yeah, I think that looks pretty good. I am pleased. So now let's figure out what I want to do for this side. I think the answer is honestly not much, but there is a little bit that I want to change. Oh god. I look at the mesh and just slightly panic. Mostly I just want everything to look a little bit more stretched out. I think that should help sell the illusion nicely. Yeah. This is why I called the other one the harder half, because stretching things out, in my opinion, is a lot easier than squishing them together. It's just far more forgiving, and you can pretty much do what you want and it'll be fine. Oh, there. Didn't want to move you quite that much. Alright, and before I stop, I want to take a look at the collar of her shirt, too. For the most part, I think it's actually pretty good. I do not think that there's very much I want to change about it. But I want to kind of tuck this part in just a little bit more to make it look like it's going behind this top part. Okay, now this part's bulging a little bit too hard. Still bulging a little bit too hard. Let me pull that back just a little. I like the idea. I want it to be a little bit rounder, I guess. Pulled out a little bit. That's just a little bit too much. I'll worry about fixing the shape after I get everything in the right spot. Okay, yeah, that's much better. Let's go ahead and fix that shape. And I cringed slightly the second I click on the mesh and see, oh my gosh, there's so many dots. Send help. Still kind of feel that way. So many dots. Send help. I'm kind of trying to smooth out how things look here. I think it's being a little bit overly distorted. So I kind of want to get things back to how they were in the original, closer to it, at least. Because I don't think this area needs to change very much. Still definitely got some distortion on it. Let me... Yeah, there's probably like a vertex right there, roughly. That needs to come back up. Okay, yeah, I think that's pretty good. And I think the folds are doing well. So let me just do a little bit of work on her collar. I think this side is fine. So I really do think it is just right there. Just want to kind of tuck him in a little bit. Looks like I will have to distort it a little bit, unfortunately, which means there's probably not much point in doing any translation. Alas. Because I saw that it was sticking out over her chest there. So I might as well just do it like this. I grab a big brush and just push that in a little bit. And by doing it this way, I can even more properly connect it up here. There we go. Now I just need to smooth it out a bit, and I think that'll be everything. I think this is the last thing I want to fix. I will zoom out and check things over one more time and see if there's anything I want to correct. But I think I got it. Yeah, looking good. Okay, let me go turn the hidden layers on. Look it over one more time. Yeah, seems good. I think I can be happy with this. Alright. So, did it! Did the entire left turn in one day! I'm gonna go eat some food now! So, thank you all for coming. And I hope you're able to make something wonderful today. I'll see you all tomorrow.